Alright, it's time for another Comments Corner. So, let's take a look at some of your responses to my response or my review of Windows 8 Consumer Preview. Okay, again, Windows copies from Linux, playing catch-up, though I will say Win 8 does look really nice. I agree, it does look pretty nice. This has me taking a harder look at Ubuntu 12.04. Well, I also like 12.04. I think that Unity GNOME stayed truer to the OS culture than Windows has. Metro's hybrid solution of tiles and desktop is a confusing affair. Some apps present differently in Metro and yet can be run on desktop, like Task Manager Control Panel. When going deeper into apps common to work with on a Windows machine, let's see. Well, the Metro menu system almost seems a non-starter. Is this app closed? How do I close the app? Resources: I have 6 gigabytes of RAM and well over 2 gigabytes is used after startup and in idle. I don't recall mine using that much, but yeah, when consumers first take a look at this, unless it's on the tablet, I agree that they may become somewhat confused. Okay, let's see. Wow, that's some definite opinion you stated about Windows 8 versus Ubuntu Unity GNOME Shell. I think it a bit harsh. Like you, I am a dual booter with these systems. The change to Metro is every bit as jarring as the change to Unity GNOME. When I first took a look at Unity and GNOME Shell, I didn't really feel for myself as a dual booter that it was a shock or jarring. It was different and still is different, but for some reason I didn't have that much of a problem getting adjusted to it. With Windows 8, like I said, the only thing that's missing for me is a start menu, a start button. That just seems to stick out of my mind since I first took a look at Windows 8. Okay, this is crap. Sorry, I can't put up with this lame review or Windows 8. Unsubscribing. I just wrote down, it's okay, use what works, peace. You know, when I do these videos, I'm not doing these to win a popularity contest. I call it as I see it. And that doesn't mean I'm always right, but as far as Windows 8 goes, I like what I see. It does need some work, and if Microsoft does decide to pretty much get rid of the start button, then you know maybe it's time for a change. I don't know, but right now without the start button menu, I don't think that's cool. I could be wrong. We'll see what happens in the future. Okay, it's definitely much improved, and I am impressed with the lower resource usage. I hate Metro though, so I disabled it entirely, leaving me with basically a Windows 7 like desktop, but that's perfectly fine with me. Well, that's certainly interesting. Okay, Windows 8 is not for true power users. Windows 8 is just all fluff. I guess that depends how you would define power user, but it certainly seems that way. Okay. Windows 8 Malformed Edition. This was a little joke. Someone had compared this to Windows ME, and I think I wrote Marvelous Edition. And someone comments back, Malformed Edition. I kind of like it. Let's keep moving here. Okay, I'm using Windows 8 right now on VMware, and I'm impressed on how little resources it uses. I'm running this only on 1.5 gigs, and it's barely using 1 gigabyte of it. Plus, I have LibreOffice Writer and Calc open along with IE10 and Java. Windows 8 puts any Linux distro to shame. Metro isn't a huge deal. I found it easy to use and learn, so on. Well, I think Windows 8 puts certainly some distros to shame. I think Windows 8 looks slick in the same way I thought GNOME Shell looked slick when it first came out. So as far as slickness goes, they both look that way. Oh, let's see. Let's keep on moving here. Awesome video. Win 8 is very fast and stable. It runs much faster. It runs much faster than Windows 7 ever does in VirtualBox. Also love your intro. Well, thank you. I found Windows 8 to be very stable. Is it very fast? Oh, well, it ran kind of slow in my VirtualBox. Maybe as a full install it might run fast, but it was certainly stable for me. Okay, let's do a few more. Windows 8, did you know MS tried to lock out Linux and other OS? Then you install it. Let's see, of course, they removed this since FN were threatened with lawsuit. Yes, you must be referring to the UEFI, the user extensible. I forget what it is now. Something about locking out the other systems during in the BIOS. I'm not sure where this is going to end. I hope that's not entirely true. Okay. Let's see what else we have. For me, it's not much. It's not as much as the interface. It's that they were lying to their users. Ubuntu was moving to the Unity interface to be able to put on phones and tablets while they claim we were doing this for the community. This is what actually made me leave Ubuntu. The interface is my favorite, but when they lie, I'm not interested. Yeah, I'm not sure if they lied or if Microsoft lied or misled the consumers. I mean, I think they hinted this was going to be completely different than any previous release of a Windows operating system. Let's see. You just can't gloss over the fact that Microsoft is a giant corporation with tons of money and tons of developers, but more importantly, more than 2 years in the making and the best possible hardware optimization. Canonical and GNOME Shell have almost nothing of the above mentioned capabilities. Still, they managed to pull tons of amazing stuff. To be fair, TOS today remembered Vista took 3 years in development and still came out a huge blunder. Yes, Vista was horse stable, as I like to call some things. If you listen to the Linux A-Team TOScast podcast, I'm aware that companies like Microsoft and Apple have a lot more money for testing and marketing than a company like Canonical. But I must say that in the same way I defended Unity and GNOME Shell, I am defending Windows 8 so far and reserving final judgment really till the final product. Alright, that's it. Thank you for all of your comments. I do appreciate it, whether positive or negative. I will accept all comments. I don't accept all language, and I think you know what I mean. Windows 8 is definitely a work in progress, just like Unity and GNOME Shell were and really are. I don't think that Unity and or GNOME 3 have really come to realize their fullest potential, but as far as Windows 8 goes, we shall wait and see. Alright, well that's it for this edition of Total OS Today. Thank you so much for watching. Keep on the lookout. We will be trying to schedule more of the Linux A-Team TOScast podcasts. We enjoy doing them. They're a lot of fun. We enjoy, spilling out the information and having some fun, joking around. It's fun for everybody. So yeah, definitely check those out in the future. And as always, I will catch you guys sometime in the future. Thank you.